Hello and welcome to Horizon Zero Dawn. It's Julesmith, and this is my first playthrough of Horizon Zero Dawn. You can see the previous 48 episodes of this playthrough on my YouTube channel, Julesmith. Well,
get out of the streets. The enemy is here.
The shadow looms over the Sundom as Aloy prepares for the final confrontation of the main storyline. So let's take a look here. We're in Meridian, and we are doing the penultimate quest, Looming Shadow. Hades intends to use the Spire to transmit a resurrection signal calling millions of buried war machines from their graves. When the time comes, Aloy must stand against the Shadow, but she will not fight alone. Okay. I don't think that I am going to have a chance to actually do the final battle today. I will be perfectly honest with you, I am completely and utterly exhausted. There's been a lot going on in my life. Haven't been sleeping very much. I am so tired. But what I want to do is this second to the last quest. We'll go around and visit the defense sites. It's optional. It says review preparations at the Ridge, review preparations at the Spire. Optional, optional, optional. We will do that. I don't think there's much else that I need to do except prepare my inventory. I imagine I'm not going to be able to stop and talk to a merchant and buy wire or whatever I might need while I'm in the middle of fighting. So we need to make sure that we have everything that we need. Let's take a look at my inventory. Alright, so my weapons, I think, are maxed out as much as they can possibly be at this point. I have pretty good upgrades on all of them. My outfits, well, I now have this Shield Weaver outfit that we got from the Ancient Armory. And I guess that's super powerful. It seems to add a lot of extra health to Aloy and work. Well, it's called Shield Weaver, so I guess it protects her quite a bit. So we'll just go with that, but it can't be modified, so there's no modifications we can put on that. Hey, Baby Star! How you doing? And Andy John. Oh, thank you, Andy John says, just stop by to say hi and don't forget to like. Oh, thank you for the thumbs up. And S. Popol Hughes says, greetings, ready for battle. Well, I don't think I'm going to battle today. Like I was saying, I'm pretty tired. I don't think my reflexes could handle it. I really should be taking a nap right now, so I'm probably not going to stream for very long. I am very run down. But we have all of these resources. I think a lot of them are things I'm not going to need. But what I'm concerned about today, we're going to go talk to people. We're going to talk to people at the Ridge. We're going to talk to people at the Spire. See how all of that's coming along. And now I know I have lots of traps in storage. I have these treasure boxes that are full of traps. So I don't think I need to worry too much about having materials to make traps. I could just dip into my treasure boxes for that. But ammo, let's see, and health potions. That's probably going to be, health potions are probably going to be important. However, I mean, I do have the Shield Weaver outfit, but I'm probably still going to need health potions. I have a lot of rich meat and fatty meat, so I can make some on the fly. I'm not going to worry too much about these health boost potions because I have the Shield Weaver outfit now, so I guess this will just have to do me. So we've got some meat to make health potions if we need it. I'm going to hope that's going to be enough. Resist fire, shock, freeze, and antidote. Those are all full up, and I believe I have the resources to make a little bit more if I need to. Yeah, these flowers here that I've collected can all be used to make those. Ammo, though. Let's take a look at what we need to make ammo. I just recently got this Shadow Blast sling, and I think it might end up being very helpful for the battle to come. Either that or my trip caster, one or the other. I don't know how useful the rope caster will be, but we're going to have that one as well. And they all... This takes wire. This takes... I don't know what that is there. That little canister. Looks like a bottle of garlic or something, or a battery. That's probably going to be important. Wire. And I think that's blaze there, the little canister with the X on it. Alright, we just need lots of shards. I imagine we're going to use tons and tons of shards. We're going to use tons and tons of sticks, which I think I've got. Hopefully 1,000 sticks will be enough for this battle. Alright, so we need blaze and we need batteries. Let's see if we have that in our inventory. Alright, these are the batteries. Oh, they're echo shells. Okay. I might want to get more echo shells. And I do have lots of blaze. Don't know if that'll be enough, but let's hope. I'm going to get more wire because I'm going to use a lot of wire. I've got lots of empty spaces. Alright, so let's go buy some wire and some blaze. And some echo shells.
Another seed.
We'll buy it from this guy.
I'll give you a good price.
Alright. Resources. Blaze. I have 234. Oh, it's pretty expensive too. Alright, let's see. Echo shells. Alright, let's make it an even 200. Let's get some more wire though. Alright, I can hold the button down. We just learned that recently. I think I'm gonna need the wire. Hey, Barbarian King, how are you? And Ice Stella, hello. Welcome to the chat room. Thanks for being here. I'm looking at what I've got in my inventory here. I'm doing inventory management right now. We can get rid of that. So that I'm all prepared for the final battle. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that today, though. I was saying earlier, I don't know, in case you guys missed it, I am so exhausted. I don't think I'm going to need all this chill water either, so let's just sell some. I don't think I have any weapons that use the chill water. I mean, I think I've got one bow that shoots frosty things, but I never use it, so we'll sell some of that to pay for our other materials that we do use, like the wire. I guess at this point we really don't need to worry so much about the modifications. I think I don't need them. So we'll sell them for some shards. We're gonna need the shards, I think, for making weapons. Let's go ahead and sell some of this off. All right. Let's see here. So what were we looking at? Weapon wheel. Blaze, blaze, blaze. And I think those were echo shells. It looks like I've got plenty. Let's hope I have plenty. Oh my gosh. Well, we can always switch over to... Let's see, where's the tripcaster? Let's look at that. Blaze, yeah. I don't know. I think I'm gonna want more wire. I used so much wire. I mean, just trying to go up the bitter climb, I used a ton of wire. And if this is going to be the big final battle where most of my weapons require wire, then we better invest in it. I just don't know what to expect. I don't know if I'm going to be able to like stop and regroup and, you know, get more resources if I need them, or if I'm going to be able to loot all of the machines I'm fighting or not. Like, I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to go big. Go big or go home, as the saying goes. Alright, there we go. I think I have plenty of wire. Oh, I've got tons of sparkers, don't I? I'll buy a little bit more blaze. I could go hunting for it, but I'm just not going to worry about that right now. Alright. Echo shells. I'm going to hope I have enough, you guys. Seriously. Alright.
Find better wares.
Let's go look at the machine parts lady. Remember the one that buys the lenses and hearts and whatnot? I think she's back here past the mystery box guy. Past the Hunter's Lodge. You know, I've gotten a lot more familiar with the layout of Meridian because... don't know if I should admit this, because I've been working on a fan fiction that takes place in Meridian. So I've kind of been studying the layout of the city in my spare time. Alright, let's see what she's got. So I've got long leg lens, stalker lens. Does she have those? She does have a stalker lens, okay, and a long leg lens. So if I need them, I can come back to her and buy them. Alright, let's sell those to her. I mean, at this point in the game, I don't know if I'm gonna need them. You know? So, what the heck? What else do I have? Corruptor lens, Trampler lens, Ravager lens. She's got a Trampler lens and a Ravager lens, so we'll sell these too. I don't know about the Corruptor lens. Or Stormbird and Behemoth. Those might be really rare. I'm going to hang on to those. Okay. And then I've got hearts. Charger Heart, Glint Hawk, Trampler. She has Charger Hearts. She has Trampler Hearts and Glint Hawk Hearts. Okay. Trampler, Glint Hawk, and Charger. We'll get rid of that. Does she have Stalker Hearts and Long Leg Hearts? I do see Long Leg Hearts. And Stalker Hearts, okay. I'm gonna hang on to those. I don't know why. At this point, I think when I finish the final battle, the game will be over for me. I mean, some of you have told me that it's possible to continue playing and running around and clearing corrupted zones and doing the hunter trials and doing any unfinished side quests, which I don't know if there are any. I think I've done all the side quests there are to do in this game. But I think when I finish the main story, I am going to be done with this. I mean, never say never. You know, I could change my mind after I finish the final quest and the main story. There might be other things I want to do, maybe, but I'm thinking that once I do the final battle tomorrow, I'm going to try to get a lot of rest. Okay, I promise. I'm going to try to get rest. And I'm going to try to make sure that I'm all ready to go tomorrow. So we'll just start this up and do the last quest. All right, so out here, review preparations at the ridge. All right, well let's go. Where were we here? All right, I'm getting all turned around. I know I just said I know my way around Meridian now, and I'm getting all turned around. No, I know where I'm going. Let's go take an elevator down to Meridian Village. Hey, you know something I learned? Those guys singing up there in the temple, I think they're singing to the Spire. I didn't realize that, but they kind of like, the Spire is like holy ground. I didn't know. But it is. That's why, like, when we went out there several episodes ago and I was exploring and there was no one up there and I was like, why is this deserted? That's why. Because it's holy ground and nobody goes up there. Nobody's supposed to be allowed to go up there. I mean, I went up there and ran around. Nobody stopped me, but I was reading online about it, and I guess that's what the lore is behind the Spire. It's considered sacred, and so that's why they sit in the temple and sing to it. Hey, Celtic Granny! Oh, it's good to see you. How's it going today? I am just wiped out. It's been a rough couple of weeks. Well, hell, it's been a rough couple of months. No, it's been a rough year, I think. It's just been rough all the way around. And I think it's gonna continue being kind of a pain. I mean, my husband's surgery went really well. And my health seems to be good for the moment. I had a physical a few months ago, and they said everything was perfectly healthy. But I'm just really tired and kind of stressed out.
Far cry from those days.
We've got some new upstairs neighbors that are just so noisy. It is unbelievable. I don't want to sit and whine about my problems, so I won't talk about it much, but I'll just suffice to say it is stressing me out. And I don't think that our building manager is going to do much about it. So we're kind of actually starting to think about moving again. Most of you who watched me for a while know that we just moved in here a couple of years ago, and we were really enjoying it where we live now. We're having a great time for the past couple of years, but oh my gosh, these new neighbors are doing my head in. Alright, so we came out of Meridian Village. Where are we here? We're right there. Are these gardens or something? What's this? Okay, we're gonna go under the arch.
But he got the prints out with
I
help
don't know
from
what
the
arch
spies.
this is.
Have you just polished that armor, Uthid?
Of course. It's not what
Isn't
I
that a
imagined when I was a
little-
boy, but it's decent work. Keeping
Nothing.
the city safe.
Out with it, woman.
Forget I said anything. You look very
Oh, there they are.
dignified.
Who is this?
Thank you.
and shiny. Very shiny.
Vanasha and Uthid. Where are they? Oh, we helped them on a quest. Is this Teb? This looks like Teb. Teb, what are you doing here?
The Oseram have gone
Oh my
too
god,
far
you're
this
too
time.
sweet to fight in a
Varl should
battle.
die for his crimes.
Go hide.
Aloy.
I told you I'd be here.
Be safe.
You did, Teb. But have your wounds even had time to heal?
Honestly, if I fought, I'd probably come undone. But don't worry. I'll leave that to the other Nora at the Spire.
There's
I
Nora
brought
at the Spire?
supplies instead. These Karja have made me an honorary quartermaster, whatever that means.
It sounds impressive.
I could get used to it.
Aww.
We'll be setting up caches of arms and medicine under these banners. Look for them when the fighting starts. Aloy,
Oh, sweet.
when you went into the mountain, did the goddess tell you our chances?
100%, my
She didn't need
friend.
to. I know we can do this, Teb.
100%.
Maybe you can.
I'm the
Arrested
protagonist.
2
I'm gonna
for
win.
disorderly conduct last night. You don't want to know what they were doing.
Alright. Oh no, Sobeck journal. Oh, right. We had a couple of journals to listen to. Nice. What banners is he talking about? What are these banners here? Like blue banners? If they're blue banners, then that means we can like go there and get medical supplies if we need them. Oh, that's freaking awesome. Oh, I think that's Vanasha and stuff right there. Oh, dang it. There's so much I want to look at and do. Okay, notebook. Data points. Right. I think there was a data point that we looked at right at the end of the last episode. These data points have been getting unlocked. They're under repair, and they've been unlocking as we do all of this. I think we already read this one. Yeah, we read that one yesterday. And we read this one about the Odyssey yesterday. Alright, so here's the new one. Halloween! Travis came by trick-or-treating dressed up like me. Should have seen that coming. I gave him a half-eaten packet of dandy wafers as a treat and kicked him out. Dandy wafers? Is that supposed to be like... Oh my gosh. I'm wondering if that's a reference to Fallout 4 and the little snacky cakes. Okay. But not before he invited me to some kind of Italian horror extravaganza he organized for Zero Dawn staff. Seriously. As though there isn't enough horror in the world already. Anyway, I was already scheduled to fly out here to G Prime for final inspections with Harris and the president's delegation. Ted was here too, and he was not looking good. Kept fidgeting and couldn't seem to look me in the face without blinking. I was relieved when he boarded his vert and flew back to Thebes. Gag. Though I guess I shouldn't complain. If he wants to build himself a deluxe shelter to ride out the apocalypse, let him. Keeps him out of Elysium and away from me. Yeah, see, this Joker's gonna come back. I'm telling you. He's either gonna come back at the end of this game or he's gonna come back in a future game. They keep hinting at this Ted Faro having his own special underground bunker thing. That's gotta be important. It can't be a red herring. It just can't. Alright, Harris stuck around long enough to give me a detailed briefing on the strategic situation. Basically, we've entered the terminal phase, as though the color of the sky when I was flying over here wasn't clue enough. Another 2 or 3 weeks and the atmosphere won't be breathable. The last vestiges of European and West African civ brigades are trapped with their backs against the Atlantic. The swarm that scuttled across Antarctica is crossing the Straits of Magellan, about to start its death crawl up South America toward the Amazon. All the work we did to reconstitute the rainforest, and it comes to this. And advanced elements of the Pacific swarms are already skirmishing with units on the Kalmar seawall. The noose is tightening. Projections show we can still finish in time, but the margin of error is plus or minus 10 days. Not a good spread. If the plague breaks through ahead of schedule, well, it just can't. I will not let that happen. Enough writing. I need to get back to Zero Dawn. Oh, hey, George. I see you in the chat room. Oh, Celtic Granny is saying everybody needs to hug your children and talk to them about... Is that bullying? I've never had to deal with it until now. Oh no, what's going on? What's happening, Celtic Granny? Yeah, but I was thinking here with this, she's talking about dandy wafers. I was just thinking about Fancy Lads snack cakes from Fallout 4. I wonder if that's a little kind of reference to that. Alright. I think we've got a couple of more of these data points that are still corrupted. File damaged, alright. Oh, file damaged. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, I guess there's 5 more, and they'll pop up as we go along here.
Watch out for the Oseram merchants. They'll as soon cheat.
Oh, Teb. You're such a sweetie. Alright, what about these folks? Oh, Vanasha! And Uthid! Oh, they're so cool. I met them in Sunfall.
Little Huntress, you called, so here I am.
Ready to fight?
Fight? I thought you just wanted tea and conversation. Is there a battle coming? I wasn't informed.
Well, that can't be true. You're always informed.
Ah, so I am. We've only met a few times, and yet you know me so well.
I don't think I know you at all. But I'd like to.
When I hear that line, it usually means something else. Can I tell you a secret?
Of course.
I've been waiting for this fight my whole life. The enemy we face today is the same that turned Meridian into a slave pit and Sunfall into a bloodbath. Fanatics who torture and murder mothers, fathers, families, children, and say it's the will of the sun. I hate them, Aloy. I've got the scars of their whips on my back to prove it. And today, we can get rid of them once and for all. I said I came for you, but that was only half the truth. I came for them. This time, they're not getting away.
I'm
Rock
with you,
on.
Vanasha. We'll fight them together.
And I won't forget it, little Huntress. Tomorrow, may the sun rise in a better world.
She is so freaking cool. There was a topic that was brought up on Twitter recently about in video games, what secondary character do you think would have been better as the main character, the main protagonist of the video game? And that's a good question, right? And, you know, I know a lot of people really love Aloy, and I've made no secret of the fact that I'm not that keen on her. But on that topic, like, who would be an awesome video game protagonist? Vanasha, right there. I would love to play through... I would love to play through a game about her and all the spy stuff that she does, and the double agent things, and the fighting, because she was like a double agent in Sunfall to like fight the Eclipse from the inside and stuff, and she's a really good warrior. I would love to play a game with her in it. But alright, let's talk to this dude, Uthid.
Aloy?
At ease, Uthid. Meridian will be glad to have you on its side. And I am too.
The honor is mine. You saved my epitaph from being a fine soldier, but a fool of a man.
I'm hoping you won't need any kind of epitaph just yet.
As the sun wills. When you found me, I was trying to eke out a glorious death. But now, a glorious life seems more preferable.
Do they have
To
a
watch
thing
Edelman
going?
play in the
Do you
low
think? Do
gardens
they have a
again.
thing? Him
Still
and Vanasha?
surrounded by a dozen guards, but... what you did, Aloy, it was done well. Although, I can't shake this road, Vanasha. She delights in goading me. Like brazen colors waved before a behemoth.
Yeah, they definitely have
Do
a
you
thing.
want me to ask her to stop?
No.
No,
Yeah.
I accept it. Well then. Meridian shall stand and shadow shall
And this is
fall.
a power couple right here.
swear.
I like these two.
Here's to that, Uthid.
Alright, who else can we talk to out here? What's going on here? What is... So there's like these little... Oh, there's some kind of rope here? I don't know what's going to happen out here. Am I going to be able to go down the rope from up there? I didn't know I could get up there. I wish the sun was up so I could see. Is this something I can climb? Is there something I can get up? How do I get up there and zip line down? I'm not sure. I mean, there's a zip line, like I should be able to get up there. Are there ledges to climb? Is there a way to climb this wall? No, of course not. I don't seem to be able to get up there. That's weird. I wonder why they would put a zip line. There's a zip line there too. Can I go? There was one time where I was able to go up a zip line. Oh, she's going down the zip line. Okay. I guess it's just meant for going down from up here. Okay. Alright, who's this? Elida.
Elida, I'm pleased to see you, but what are you doing here?
I'm helping prepare for the battle. If a Thrall were here, we would have fought together. I know it.
Oh, she was the one that...
So I'm doing everything I can. Digging battlements, collecting herbs. Anything that makes a difference. I can't take his place. Nothing can take his place. But I'm here for him. For both of us.
I understand what it was he saw in you.
He'll always be with me. Sun and shadow still meet for a moment. Every dawn and dusk. I should give you this.
Aww.
To help in the battle. By the sun, I hope you don't need it.
What is
Thank
it?
you,
What's she gonna give me?
Elida. Be safe.
Some Oseram girl applied to the city guard the other day.
What'd she give me? What'd I get? What did I get? A potion or something? I don't know what she gave me. Oh yeah, she's the one that was like a star-crossed lover. Her boyfriend was a member of the Shadow Karja, and he ended up getting killed during the quest. Alright.
How many men do you think you'll kill in the battle, Uthid?
There
Oh,
are no
there's more people
shadows
down
I have
here.
to
What's
do
down
this
here?
I love it when you say things like that. It's so
What?
cheerful.
Is this Petra? It looks like Petra. Oh, she's one of my favorites.
Petra!
Here she is, the guest of honor. I knew there was something about you. Hammered from the stuff they make leaders out of. And I don't say that to every Nora girl who blows through my town.
That happens to you a lot?
Had to build a wall to fend them off.
Good thing I'm persistent then.
I've missed our little talks. Murad asked me to look over the city arsenal. These guns have aged well. That runs in the Oseram, no? They were the pride of the Mainspring Forges. So I've taken greater pride in improving them.
Uh-oh. Yeah, let's test
Can I
one.
try one?
Everybody wants a turn. Have at it then. The target should put up a little less of a fight than those bandit raiders did.
Oh, dang. Hold L2 and R2 to load ammo from the nearby pile. Yep. And release R2 to fire. Alright, where's the targets? Oh, there's targets right there.
It hits nice and wide. No need to aim like a bow. Range is good. Try the next.
Where is the next? I can't see it. Oh. There's horsies running away out there. Oh, this is gonna be sweet. Am I gonna get to use this during the battle? Oh, this is awesome. Alright. Oh, I guess it's going right there. Okay. Oh, this is cool. Alright. Oh, yeah, see, they set up these targets. These weren't here before. Oh, there was a third one right here.
Start!
Dang, that's her super upgraded lance now. Alright, well, it's... I guess there's nothing else I need to review here. Doesn't say there's anything else. Alright, so now I have to go up and review preparations at the Spire. Have I talked to everyone who's here? Guess so.
That's a nice...
Oh wait, no,
spear,
who's out
Uthid.
here?
Thank you.
I like the way you grip it.
Oh my god, the two of you, get a room! There's definitely something going on there. Who's this?
Nakoa, you came to fight.
How could I not? During the Red Raids, there was only one Karja Butcher the Nora feared more than Zaid.
Helis.
I would stand against any army he leads, no matter how strong. For the Nora he terrorized, for myself, and for my father.
We'll stop him. You have my word.
Your word means a lot, especially now. Because of you, I hear the sacred land is opened. If we win, I can go home. It'll be good to see Jan again.
Yeah, her brother sent
I'm
us
with
out
you,
to
Aloy.
find her.
Until the end.
She went after, I think she went after her father's killer. And they had kidnapped her. She tried to kill Zaid and he had kidnapped her. He was running some kind of slave trade thing and we rescued her and a bunch of slaves. Oh, that's cool. So she's here. Who's this? Oh, it's Janeva.
Janeva. They called you back to duty.
So, you're the one behind all this commotion. Who made Sun King Avad finally show his sword arm from behind those robes?
A king can be fierce and fair, Janeva.
She runs the
He's a good
prison.
man.
A smart man, too. He had Murad offer all my prisoners a royal pardon if they'd fight for Meridian. The whole motley lot of them agreed. Didn't take much convincing.
With your kind of convincing, I don't doubt it.
Ha! This time I went easy on them. Those who commit the crime of attacking Meridian, they'll see less of my lenient side. May the sun blaze at your back, Aloy.
Nice.
Isn't that...
Yeah. Janeva runs Sunstone Rock, the prison where Nil was kept for a while. And then released. I wonder if Nil's gonna be here. Where would he be? Would he be out here or at the Spire?
Him? From the Battle of the Dawn?
Can be. Cinnabar Sands was before that, and there were no survivors.
Alright, so there's these
Well, I
folks.
don't like the clothes.
It is
Oh,
Nil!
sun, keep the shadow from falling upon me.
Where's Nil? Where's Nil? Where is he? He is, he's right here. Oh my god. I didn't think we'd get to see him again. Nil?
Hey, Aloy. They told me your name. I said hair like a splash of blood, tenacious as a scrapper's jaws. I've thought about
you
what
sweet
you said.
poet.
Every time, the wound you gave me caught on my ropes.
But I didn't wound you.
Not by metal. Still, I forgive. A duel is such a fleeting joy. If one of us had ended the other, we'd have missed all this. The weight before blood is shed, like the scrape of a blade across your teeth.
Nil, you're making it difficult to be glad to see you. But you're needed. The battle will be hard.
Hard? I was assured the odds would be near impossible.
And you signed up anyway?
Impossible odds, fine company, killing without consequence. How could I resist?
Alright. Oh, so he is going to be here too. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Oh, who else? Who else is going to be? I don't think I see anybody else. Is there anyone else? Every time I say, is there anyone else? More people seem to show up. Oh my gosh. It'd be nice if the sun was up and I could see everyone. Anybody else out here? I don't think so. Okay, I think Nil was it. Well, Nil and Petra And Vanasha and Uthid, they're the ones that matter. I really like them. I'm glad they're here. Oh, here comes the sun. Do 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 do. Here comes the sun. Alright, let me check in with the chat room. Oh no, Celtic Granny. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Let me know how it goes. I hope your grandson gets better soon. Hey, Simone! Simone said, looking forward to the big fight. Well, I don't know if I'm going to start that today. Right now, we're just kind of doing the battle preparations. I am very tired today myself, and I don't know if I have the time or mental capacity to do the big battle. So we're just running around and we're getting ready. I was buying a bunch of inventory items, resources I would need to make ammo, making sure I'm all stocked up on potions and traps and ammo and all of that. And we are running around talking to all the people who've come to help us defend the ridge and defend the Spire. I'm going to do that, and then I'm probably going to call it a stream. It won't be a very long stream, I know. I am going to need probably more of this ridgewood. I've got over 1,000. Somehow I think it won't be enough. Alright, so going up to the Spire. Oh, there's the Spire. How do I get there? Let me look at the map. Alright, go back through Meridian, or go back to the village and then hang a right here. Okay. So this is the ridge here. I think that's the Hunter's Lodge over there. Or all the hunters. They should be out here helping to defend.
She didn't even hesitate. She stood between the assassins.
She risked her life to protect the Sun King. And she didn't even
And we got the really super cool armor from the ancient armory. Oh, we have another journal that's been repaired. Halloween 2065. Let's take a look. Oh no, we already read that one. So what was the one that was just... Yeah, Halloween 2065. Why did that one just register? We already read that. Weird. Okay.
Prince Eden has
There we go.
returned to Meridian.
Up to the Spire. I don't think there's a fast travel point that will take me up there. So we're just gonna have to run. Gonna have to hoof it. Yeah, Celtic Granny says it's cool how everybody you helped is there to help with your epic battle. Yeah, that's a really nice touch there in the game. It's kind of like in Fallout 4 when you do Far Harbor. If you help everyone in the town, there's this scene, and I remember it was one of my favorite scenes in the game, not just in the DLC, but in the whole game. There's this scene where you go, I think it was in my first playthrough when I took Dima there to admit his crimes to the town of Far Harbor, and they wanted to go and attack the Sins at Acadia, and I was able to talk them out of it. And there was this really interesting scene where everyone who I had helped in Far Harbor, everyone who looked up to the Soul Survivor and had been helped by the Soul Survivor, they all took my side. You know, and it was a very moving moment because it really kind of brought together, like you know, so often in video games you do all these little side quests and escort missions and bullshit, and there's really no point to it other than, you know, here's your coins, or here's your shards, or, you know, here's your special weapon or whatever. But like the idea of there being you know, characters in the game that are affected by your actions and then coming back to help you. It's Talanah. That's her son Hawk of the Lodge, her mentor.
Talanah, why are you here?
I'm your Hawk. Where else would I be?
Defending Meridian with Avad?
I leave that to the rest of the Lodge. I will not stand aside while one of mine fights alone. Not again.
Are you sure you...
You're risking your life for all of us. You can't ask me to stand by and watch. Not when I have the power to change it.
Then I won't ask you.
It's settled. I will fight by your side. My only request...
Name it.
Leave the biggest machine for me.
No promises.
I like these two. I really do. They're cool together, I think. I know a lot of people ship Aloy with the Sun King or with Erend or whatever. I think I ship these two. I like these two together. I don't know what it is. I think they have good chemistry. Is anybody down here? What's down there? Hey, Herman! And Michael! Aw, yeah, Celtic Granny says that we have to wait until tomorrow. Yep, gotta wait till tomorrow for the big battle. I'm sorry. I'm so exhausted. Honestly. I mean, my arms hurt, my back hurts. I tried to take a nap earlier, but then they were making a bunch of noise upstairs and I couldn't. I just don't have the I don't have the ability to think straight, to be honest. Huh, I wonder why this is here. Like, what are we gonna do from here other than just admire the view? Can we toggle photo mode? Is that a thing? No. Okay. Yes, let's close photo mode. Okay. There we go. I thought maybe photo mode would just like turn off all of the heads up display stuff for a second, but I don't know how that works. Hey, Michael saying, good evening, first time watching this game. Oh, well, you're coming in at the very end.
Sun's making a show of it.
You're coming in at the very end. I'm getting ready to prepare for the final battle and the end of the main storyline, which I'll be wrapping up tomorrow. But the previous 48 episodes are on my YouTube channel if you want to check them out. It's been a very interesting experience. Michael's saying, I downloaded Fallout Shelter yesterday and today I uninstalled it. No quests and only room fires and rad roaches. Well, yeah, you gotta... There's a progression to the game. You have to build up your vault And eventually when you have a certain number of vault dwellers, I don't remember what it is, 15, 20, something like that, you can build an overseer's office. And once you build the overseer's office in your vault, then you start getting quests. But you can also send your vault dwellers outside, and while they're outside, they will pick up items, and they will sometimes encounter small areas like a gas station or a cabin, and you can, you know, go to that location with them and see them clear it. But yeah, the bigger quests and things are going to happen from the overseer's office, and the game doesn't start with an overseer's office. Part of the game is building up your vault. So that whole vault that you saw that I had built with 128 people in it started from just a couple of people and nothing in the beginning of the game. That's why I had suggested if anyone wants to play that game, not just you, but anybody that wants to play that game, might want to go back and watch my very first episode of Fallout Shelter, just to see how the game starts and what's involved in getting it up to that point where you're going out and doing all the big quests and things. George is saying, oh yeah, upstairs neighbors, I've been there, feel your pain. Aw, thanks, George. Oh, Michael's saying, not sure what was wrong with my game. Nothing's wrong with it. That's just part of the progression of the game. When you start out, you have to build the vault. The vault's not already there for you. You have to build the vault, and then you have to grow the vault. And you can grow the vault in various ways. There are different ways to add people. You can make people. People can actually have babies. Or, you know, you can meet people outside in the wasteland, and they'll come into the vault. But yeah, you have to actually build the vault and work your way up to the point where you can go on lots of quests. The nature in Horizon Zero Dawn is nice, Michael says. Yeah, it is. The graphics that they did for the nature are amazing. They really are. I will say, oh, there's a stormbird flying off in the distance too. I think that the things I like most about this game, I was thinking about it the other day. I really like the music, for one thing. I've actually started listening to the soundtrack when I'm not playing the game. Some of the music from this is just, I just love it. Absolutely love it. So I've been listening to the soundtrack a lot lately. I do think the graphics and the environment are amazing, beautiful. The costumes are interesting. The weapons are interesting. However, I do think that I wish they had done more motion capture for the characters. Because if you play the game long enough, you'll notice that they just keep making the same facial expressions over and over and over again, or the same movements over and over and over again. And I know that's kind of the same with like Fallout 4 and Skyrim and stuff. But, you know, Fallout 4 and Skyrim don't have the same level of intricate graphics that this game does. And the same level of intricate combat that this game does. I mean, I guess it's a trade-off. Skyrim and Fallout have a more intricate world to explore. You know, there's more objects to interact with, and there's more side quests, and there's more stuff going on in the world, and there's more to find and do and craft and see and stuff like that. So I guess that's the trade-off. But yeah, I do think that I kind of wish just for this game, just because everything else in the game, you know, all the rest of the environment and the costumes and the machines and everything are so detailed. Because I think every individual machine has its own sorts of sounds and animations. They really, really went all in on the machines, which is another fantastic aspect of this game. The complexity of the machines and how each one has to be defeated in a different way, and how each one has different AI and moves differently and everything is really, really cool. But then, you know, like I said, the people seem kind of wooden by comparison. So, you know, that's something I think they could improve on. I do think the combat in this game is really cool. It took me a long time to wrap my brain around it, but I can kind of see what people mean when they say, like, oh, well, the combat in Skyrim is simplified or dumbed down or whatever. You know, the combat in this takes a lot of thought. You know, depending on how, there's different ways you can approach a battle, different ways you can approach, you know, dealing with the machines and stuff, or dealing with the bandits or whoever. but it does take thought. It's not just a mindless button masher. You're not going to memorize combos and just mash your way through a fight. You know, it actually takes some thought and strategy, and I like that. It's really cool, really well done. I think the sound design, the balance, and the sound cues in this game are incredible. Oh my gosh. Like, it occurred to me the other day that I can tell exactly what is going on around me by the sound cues. Like, I know what a machine is going to do next. I know which machines I'm near. From the sounds that they make, like stalkers make very specific sounds, and you know, the rumbling of certain machines, the larger machines when they walk make certain sounds, and you know, just the sound design in this and the balance in it is so spot on. There's very few times when the sound is off, and you guys might know from a few episodes ago when I went back to Sunfall and I was at the Sun Ring. And it was really weird because I would walk like 2 paces and suddenly I could hear the crowd roaring, and then I would back up 2 paces and it would just disappear and it was silent. That was a little off. That was a little bit weird. But that's like one of the only times in the game where the sound was weird. Otherwise, the sound seems really well done. Especially for me, like wearing a headset while I'm playing the game. You know, the directional sounds and the sound balance, you know, being able to tell from the sound how close or far away something is or where it is near me is just really, really well done. And the subtle differences in the sounds that tell you about your environment, that is so beautifully done, I have to say. Like, and I think of games that I've played, like for instance, I think it was Thief that I played, that just had the shittest sound mixing or balance or sound cues or whatever you want to call it. Like, just, it was awful on sound. Like, people who were outside of the building would sound like they were right behind me, and you know, it was just really, for a stealth game, it was really difficult to tell, like, to orient myself in the world based on the sounds, and that was bad. That's really bad. But this game was really good with the sound, I thought. My experience of it, you know, and that goes along with the music too. The musical cues, like knowing when you're about to get into a battle, or knowing when something sinister is coming, or, you know, just the different musical cues are really, really good. So those are the things I like about it, and I do like the robots, man. I'm not one to be like super impressed by big robotic things, you know. Mr. Jewelsmith is really into like movies about giant monsters or movies about giant robots or whatever. That is his thing. He really loves it. I'm not so much into that, but I do think they did a great job on the machines in this game. Really, I mean, they instill terror. I mean, there are times I'm playing this game and my hands are just sweating. I am just like, no, you know. And the complexity of the machines, the way they move, the way they sound, the way that you have to defeat them, you know, they are amazing. They are really amazing. I like it a lot. What else do I like about this game? I think they went to great lengths to build the world. But with that said, I think that their world building didn't really come through the game as strongly as I could have wished. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but like, I think there's so many aspects to this world. There are so many places with special names and locations that have special history, and there's so many different characters, but you don't really experience it. Like, you don't really feel it and engage with it and feel like you're a part of it the way that you do for me anyway, the way that I do when I'm playing Skyrim or Fallout. You know, in Skyrim and Fallout, I feel like I've lived in those worlds, right, after playing those games. And it's not just a function of, yeah, I've played them for hundreds of hours, but, you know, this game, I mean, I've played this game now for almost 100 hours or more. And you know, by the time I had played 100 hours of Skyrim, I felt like I was a part of that world. I felt like I lived in that world. You know, I knew the names of the mountains and the rivers and the towns, and, you know, I really felt like I understood it, and there was a feeling for it, you know. In this game, it's like it's all there, but I don't feel like I lived in it. It's weird. Maybe, again, like I said, it could just be me, but, you know, I was saying earlier in the stream that I had started writing some fan fiction that's set in Meridian, and so I started doing a bunch of reading online into the wikis and the lore and stuff of this game, and it's so complex, and it's so rich, and it's so interesting, and yet I'm sitting here reading things like finding out that, I guess maybe somewhere in the game it was mentioned that the Spire was a holy site. I'm sure it was mentioned. I probably read about it and then forgot or whatever. But, you know, it's just, there's so many of these interesting details that kind of like washed over me, and I didn't absorb them. I didn't feel like I lived in them, you know? I didn't feel like I was a part of them. So I don't know. I don't know why that is for me. I don't know why that happened with this game, but I mean, their world building is fantastic, but I just don't feel like it's really an open world. Like, I mean, it's kind of a free roam open world game, yeah, but it's not open world the way that, like,
not getting any cooler.
Okay, Aloy, she's getting impatient with me. It's not open world the way other games are. You know, you can't touch a lot of objects, interact with a lot of things. You know, there's not as many parameters for interacting with stuff, right? Like there was one stream where I can't remember one of the viewers in the chat room, I can't remember who it was saying, oh, why don't you go steal this thing, or why don't you go whack this person, get some XP killing some peasants or something, and I said, well, that's just not possible. You know, so there's a lot of things in this game that are just not possible. There's very few ways to interact with the world. Like, there's a lot of doors you can't open. In fact, I think all the doors cannot be opened unless there's a very special, you know, triangle button prompt. But there's a lot of stuff that you can't interact with, and that just, it creates a psychological distance where you don't really feel like you're living in the world. You know? If you can't sit at a table in a pub, you know, even just sitting at the table in the pub, being able to sit down, if you can't do that, it doesn't feel like you live in the world, you know? I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I'm just, you know, I'm reflecting on this game because, you know, we're getting toward the end here, and I'm not going to be playing it much longer, and I'm just, you know, I'm kind of reflecting back on my experiences with it and what I got out of it. The other things I liked about this game were the characters other than Aloy. I don't know what it is. I just couldn't get into Aloy. I've said that before. I mean, it's fine. I know it's her story and I'm playing as her and this is what we're here to do. But I really, really like some of the other characters and other cultures in the game besides Aloy and the Nora. I love Erend. Oh, I love Erend. And the Oseram culture. Nil is intriguing to me. Rost, you know, Petra. You know, I guess I just like the Oseram. It's my problem. But, I don't know. I kind of wish that we'd been able to have companions. Like, have these people actually travel with us through the adventure. That might have made it feel a little more connected and personal and like I lived in the world, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm just spoiled by other games where we have companions. I mean, we had Selens for a while there. Toward the end, he started popping up a lot and talking to us on our focus, but I don't know. Not quite the same thing. What do you guys think of this game? Some of you I know have played it. Some of you have not played it, but have watched me play it. Tell me your thoughts, and I will check in with the chat room. Hey! I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly. Kinau Menth? Hello, welcome to the chat. It says animations are a lot better in the Frozen Wilds. They improved loads of stuff. Oh, that's interesting. Really? I wasn't planning to play the Frozen Wilds, but now that sounds kind of intriguing. Oh, no, don't be sorry. Sorry to butt in. I've been watching your playthrough these past few days. No, you're very welcome. You're very welcome to butt in, please. It's fun. Earlier in this playthrough, I wasn't really paying much attention to the chat room because I didn't want spoilers, and unfortunately, I did have a few people, people who I didn't recognize. I don't think they were longtime viewers, and maybe they didn't realize that I hadn't played it before, or they didn't know at what point I was at in the game, or whatever. But I did have people giving me spoilers, so I was being very cautious about interacting with the chat room. But now I'm almost at the end of the game, and I think I pretty much know anything that I need to know, and if I don't know it yet, it's okay. If I get a spoiler, I don't mind. You know, I'm very close to the end, so that's fine. I've been doing a little more interacting with the chat room than I had previously. Oh, George is saying the game seems good, but I'm not a fan of open worlds. I think most of them would be far better as tighter, more linear experiences. Yeah, I don't know. I think it depends on the game and how it's done. Because like I love open world games, but only certain. I haven't played that many of them. I mean, I say I love them, but I love Skyrim. I love Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4. But you're right, like there's something to be said for a linear experience, because I also love playing BioShock and BioShock 2, and I loved playing the Dishonored franchise, and the Dishonored games were not really open world. I mean, they were very linear, similar to BioShock, you know, start here, you know, start at point A, get to point B, and you could move sort of freely through the world and, you know, choose your path through the world, and, you know, you had the choice to maybe talk to certain people or pick up certain items or not. But yeah, they were much more linear, tighter experiences. And I did enjoy Dishonored and BioShock just fine. And they were not open world kind of games like Skyrim or Fallout. But I don't know. See, for me, I feel like Horizon Zero Dawn couldn't make up its mind. Like, I kind of would... Well, the same way like they did with the climbing stuff, right? Like, either go all the way or don't have it, right? Either be a fully open world or don't. Be a linear game. You know, just pick one and do it. And I think they kind of, like, were sort of walking this middle ground between linear and open world. And for me, it just kind of didn't quite work for me. I don't know. Like, yeah, it may have been better as a more linear game. Because I think it was written that way. Like, it was like, I'm talking about Horizon Zero Dawn, feels like it should have just been a linear game. Because once I stopped trying to treat it like anything but a linear game, it got better for me. But like the climbing stuff, you know, either have climbing that is challenging and difficult and requires a skill that you build up throughout the game, or don't have all the climbing. You know, this kind of weird half-assed climbing that they do in this game, where, you know, certain things can be climbed if they have bird poop ledges, you know, or yellow nipples or whatever, you know, can be climbed, but other things can't, you know. And sometimes you have to be careful how you jump, and sometimes she'll just do it automatically, and, you know, it's kind of this weird middle ground that just didn't really work for me, you know. Well, even the middle ground between, is this a robot fighting game or is this a story game, you know? I kind of feel like, personally, I wish there was less story and more robot fighting. I know that sounds weird for me to say that, because I tend to like a good story, you know, but I don't know, in this game I just feel like the robot fighting stuff was actually much more compelling, and I mean, the mysterious story of Aloy was interesting, but I think it got too complicated. And it felt jarring, because, like, on one hand, I would be like, okay, fighting a whole bunch of robots, fighting a bunch of bandits, fighting a bunch of Eclipse, and then suddenly the game would come to a screeching halt. Now you're going to read lots and lots of backstory. Now you're going to watch lots and lots of holograms. You know, it felt really bizarre to me. Like, either be a story game or don't, or try to weave the story into the action a little bit better or something, you know? I don't know, it's just, that's just me. That's just me. I mean, any of these things that I say are just, you know, they're particular to me. Everyone's going to have their own takeaway when they play a video game, and everyone has their own preferences. That's fine, and I respect that. I'm not saying, like, my opinion is the right one. I'm saying that's just how I feel. and other people are free to feel differently, you know, that's cool, but I'm just saying, this is my takeaway from the game. Yeah, Canal is saying there's definitely a lack of interaction. Yeah. And Barbarian King says, interacting with your surroundings is a big part of gameplay for me. Right. And that even became a running joke for me when I was playing Dishonored, because in Dishonored, I mean, you can have, you know, there are certain interactions you can have with the environment, but they're very specific and very few. And the objects that you pick up after a while, you know, you're just constantly picking up coins or bath salts, coins or bath salts, coins or bath salts. And that became this running joke to the point where I even made bottles of bath salts and was giving them away during my Dishonored live streams, because we were just constantly laughing about how many bath salts we were finding in this game. And that was one of the few things you could pick up and interact with, and, you know, you could loot them or whatever and get coins for them. Right. So, you know, yeah, I agree. For me, being able to interact with the world, being able to steal things, touch things, sit on things, talk to people, you know, all of that is a big part of the enjoyment of a game for me. Typically, like I said. Now, there are games like BioShock where there's not a lot of that going on, but are still extremely compelling, well-done games. I think BioShock remains, to this day, one of the best games I've ever played. And BioShock 2. I loved BioShock 2. Some people do not. Some people prefer the first one, or they prefer Infinite, but I really loved BioShock 2. I thought it was really, really good. For me, it was just the right, I don't know, just the right amount of story and action and all of that. But again, very linear. Not a whole lot of interaction with the environment. And yet still a very compelling game to play. So maybe it just depends on how well it's done. Celtic Granny loving it. I know you love this game. Celtic Granny says I can watch it and play it over and over and over. Love Aloy. Well, see, she reminds you of yourself when you were young, right? And you know, and that's cool. That's why you can relate to her and you like her. Yeah, I get that. You know who reminds me of me? I'll be honest, in this game, who reminds me of me is Petra. I think that's why I like Petra, but I think I also kind of relate to Petra a little bit. Like, of all the characters in this game, if I had to be one of the characters, I would be Petra. Absolutely. Of course, Petra flirts with Aloy an awful lot. I don't know if that would be like me. I don't think I'd be flirting with Aloy. I would be busy chasing after Erend. Celtic Granny's asking, have you ever played Oblivion? I played it for a little bit on PS3 years ago, and I never finished it. I played it up to the point where I had some really, really nice armor. I had like some kind of special paladin armor or something. And I had a unicorn. I had a unicorn that I could ride around in Cyrodiil. I think it was part of one of the DLCs or something. I don't know. But yeah, I had shiny armor and a unicorn. But I never did finish that game. And I had a house. I can't remember what town I lived in, but I had a house in one of the towns. That's true. That's true. Canal is saying Guerrilla has an excuse. It's their first time doing an open world. I totally understand that. Right. They were doing the Killzone games, and this is kind of a departure for them, because I think Killzone's in first person, and this is a third person, and it's, yeah, it's very new for them. Very new for them. Canal is saying the sequel will be much better, I hope, and they're already improving stuff in the Frozen Wilds. Yeah, I think, well, and I just watched a making of Horizon Zero Dawn the other day. There's a video online that's like kind of a making of thing. It's about a half an hour long, I think, 45 minutes, something like that. And it's all about, you know, this, how they made the game and the challenges they faced. And I think they said that they had brought John Gonzalez in later in the project. Like, they had their robot dinosaurs and they had Aloy and they kind of knew what they wanted to do, but then they were like, okay, now we need a story, so we're going to have to bring in a narrative director, and that's something they hadn't done before. And then he came in and was creating the story for this game, and then he had to work with all the quest, designers and the different, all the different departments of Guerrilla Games, putting this game together to fit around this story that he was creating. And, I think for the sequel, I would imagine that whether he's working on it or someone else is the narrative director, I don't know, but whoever's working on it will have been there, hopefully, from the beginning. And then maybe it'll be a little bit tighter, kind of more cohesive game, because they'll be working on the narrative, and they'll already have an established world to work within, and they'll have the experience of having made this game. So the next game, yeah, I'm hoping the next game is going to be freaking amazing if they do a second game. And here's my hypothesis, or what I would like to see, is I would like the second game to be called The Forbidden West, because there's a book that we can find in Horizon Zero Dawn. There's a book that we read. I think we found it. Oh, let's look at the map. I think we found it up here in this town. Blazon Arch, I think, is where we found it. It was on a boat here at the dock, like over here somewhere. We found a book, and it was talking about the stories that were brought back from people who had tried to go out into the Forbidden West, and it was so intriguing. And there's been a few other little mentions of the Forbidden West in this game, and I was thinking, it'd be really cool if the next game was set in the Forbidden West, so you got to see like a whole nother area of Earth that had maybe its own cradles and its own cauldrons and has completely different tribes, and it would be really, really, really intriguing, I think. Either that, or they need to set the next game in Oseram. Because as I have now said about 100 billion times, I love the Oseram. So, that would be nice too. I had heard that they actually had intended to include more of the Claim, which is the Oseram land. They had intended to include more of the Claim in the game, but for various reasons ended up cutting it or just not having it in there, which is a shame. It's a crying shame. Alright, Barbarian King. Thanks for being here. Barbarian King's heading out. Hey, Stephen Naylor, how you doing? Oh, Canal is saying the no-clip documentaries are very good. That might have been the one I watched. Is that like the fan-funded or Kickstarter-funded ones? Yeah, George is saying Killzone was an FPS, but very linear. Right, so they were used to doing first-person shooter linear games without much story to them. This one's obviously very heavily, story-oriented. It's very much about Aloy. Aw, thank you. Stephen Naylor says, I stopped watching your streams several episodes ago, but that's because I gave in and bought the game and a PlayStation 4. Oh my gosh. Your playthroughs inspired me, if that means anything. Thanks. Oh, thank you. Yes. Thank you for telling me that. That is so cool. Wow. Thanks for sharing that. Oh, Michael's going. Oh, good night, Michael. I know it's getting late where you are. I think Michael's over in Europe, and it's 5 or 6 hours later than where I am right now. It's probably midnight where Michael is. Oh, Canal says, it is a shame. I wanted to go to the Claim too. Am I saying your name correctly? If I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. I don't know if it's Canoe or Canal or just something else. But yeah, thanks for being here. Absolutely. Love talking to you guys about this. I mean, like I said, we're at the point now where I'm not worried about spoilers, and I think there's a lot that can be said about this game. we can sit here and chat about it. But I think we also need to go, speaking of Oseram, I think there might be some Oseram and some Nora for us to go talk to out here. Maybe I should wait for the sun to come back up. I don't think this game actually has day and night. I mean, it has day and night cycles, but it doesn't have lunar cycles. Because I've noticed it seems like every time I look at the moon, it's full. I've noticed that in every single episode when I think about looking at the moon while I'm like rewatching the playback or whatever, it seems the moon is always full. You know, and if you pay attention actually, in Fallout 4, there is a lunar cycle. Sometimes the moon will be full, sometimes it'll be half, sometimes it'll be crescent. I mean, they actually did a lunar cycle in Fallout 4. But in this game, I don't think they did. It's a small detail, it doesn't matter much, but just saying, it's something I noticed. Aw, Steven says, I'm not sure how I'm going to get on. I've never owned a games console before, and I'm 62. Oh, wow. Well, it's never too late to start. I'm almost 50. I don't know how old. I've got some other older viewers. I don't know exactly everyone's age, but I'm pretty sure Celtic Granny and Herman and Nemo are all older. Like me. Like me and you. But I've been playing games. I mean, my parents had an Atari console back in the 70s, so I have been playing games on console a long time. Kinal says, I got a PS4 at 46. It was a learning curve. I bet. Celtic Granny is level 63. Yeah, that's what I need to start saying. That's what I need to start saying. I'm level 48. Alright, so what else have we got going on here? I'm going to go talk to these folks, and I don't think there's much else to do after that. I think that as soon as Aloy goes to sleep, it says rest before the final battle. I think as soon as we rest, it's going to probably have all hell breaking loose. Let's see. Yeah, I've talked a lot about the things I really liked about this game, so I'm going to talk for a minute. A few more minutes about the things I didn't like, and I've mentioned them quite a bit. I mean, it won't be any big surprise to those of you who've watched my playthrough, but not a fan of the climbing stuff. I was talking about that a minute ago. Just not a fan of it. I don't mind the zip lines, I guess, and some of the little features of some of the sort of arenas that they set up for you to fight in for various quests and stuff, but I just thought there was way too much watching Aloy leap between rocks. You know, I'm sitting there just holding my controller, watching her go leap, 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 so I could go collect a Bannock figure or whatever. You know, that didn't really excite me. Not much at all. Not a fan of all the collectible missions. I mean, I know that's kind of standard practice in an open world game. Well, in any game anymore, you know, collect all the whatevers. And I don't know, sometimes that can be really fun if it's done well, but I'm starting to get to where it's sort of like escort missions. It's busy work with no point. And, you know, in this game, it's like kind of an excuse to get you to go out to different places and encounter different things, but then a lot of the metal flowers, a lot of the Bannock figures, a lot of the vantage points were already located next to areas that you were visiting for the quests anyway. So it's not like it was enticing you to an area you wouldn't already have been enticed to by the main storyline or by one of the side quests. You know, and a lot of the collectibles were just, like I said, they were things that either I had to just hold my joystick and watch her leap over climb up a mountain, or they were like, run in, grab the metal flower, fast travel out, you know, or run out, or whatever. And I guess it wouldn't have been so bad if I felt like I got a really good payoff for all of that work. I mean, I did all of that work. I collected all of the freaking things, and I got some shards and some weaves that I don't even think I needed or used or whatever. Like, it was just kind of like, I did all that work for this, you know. it should have had a better payoff, I think. It should have had a better payoff for doing all of that stuff. But, yeah, you know, again, maybe that's something they'll improve in future games if they do more games in this series. We talked about the graphics, the people. Hopefully they'll do a little bit of motion capture or a little bit more variety or something with the people. I think the voice acting, some of it was amazing. Some of it was really good, spot on, you know, intriguing, compelling. I think Erend's voice actor, I think Selen's voice actor, you know, really good, really good. But then some of it was just really, to me, sounded like people reading off of a script. You know, it didn't. They for a lot of the side quests and the characters that weren't main characters or even secondary characters, they were just sort of, you know, like you know, Erend, you know, characters you met during errands or something, or during, you know, side quests or whatever. Some of that was kind of, I don't know, could have been better, I suppose. We talked about it having no companions. I mean, there's a few quests where you have people with you, and those were probably my favorites. I loved having Erend with me. I loved having Nil with me when I was doing things. Loved having Talanah go with me to fight the Red Maw. You know, that was cool. I wish there'd been more of that. I have a hard time with third person. Now, I don't expect them to do the next Horizon Zero Dawn in first person. I don't think they're going to make that decision. I think they've made a third person game decision for a reason, and I respect that. I'm just saying, personally, it's really hard for me to play third-person games. It just really is. So for me, that's a little bit of a detractor. I thought the pacing of the game was weird, but I mentioned that already. That, you know, there was these, you know, there was like action, 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 and then slog through info dumps, and then action, 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 and slog through more info dumps. I wish there had been less. I wish the info dumps had kind of been dialed back a bit. And it's, you know, there are a lot of data points and files and, you know, whatevers that you can listen to or ignore, I know. But there's also a lot of conversation and a lot of holograms and a lot of stuff that just, for me, just really bogged down the game. Like, I just wanted to, okay, sure, whatever, get on with it, you know. I just, you know, I spent entire hours just slogging through places that had hologram after hologram after hologram or whatever, and I didn't enjoy that much. I really just didn't. Not, maybe at first, but not after a while. It kind of got tedious. So I wish that had been tightened up a bit, or more than a bit. You know, I do think that they kind of built it up as this great mystery, and then it kind of got like bogged down in itself, and it was maybe too convoluted and too complicated, because there's still a lot of stuff that I'm just kind of like, okay, I guess this is how this works. Okay, I guess this is what happened. Okay, I think I understand this. You know, and I don't really like that feeling of, you know, when a game is about the story, and this game is definitely about story, that you end up feeling like you don't understand the story. You know, even when everything's been explained to you by 1,500 holograms, you're like, I still don't get what's going on here. You know, that's, I don't know, that's a little bit, that could be improved, I think. That could be improved. I am really angry about the fact that there aren't better stealth weaves. I never found anything better than 8%, in spite of the fact that I found shit tons of other weaves and mods and whatever they're called for all the weapons and clothing and everything. I found shit tons of purple that was all, you know, 40% and 50% and whatevers. And then for the stealth weaves, I never found anything more than 8%. That's ridiculous. I don't know why they did that. I would have loved to have been able to wear an Oseram outfit with a really good stealth weave on it, and played a stealth character that didn't look like she was caught in a fishing net. That would have been awesome. But oh well. And I think there was a lot of silly hats. We joked about that when I first started playing this game, that Aloy has a lot of silly hats. I don't know why that is a thing, but I do think she wears an awful lot of silly hats. It's trivial, I know, but it's a bit distracting sometimes when she's talking to people and all I can do during the conversation is stare at her silly hat. Oh, man. Oh, Kanao is 48. Herman is... I'm not that old. I turned 16. Are you 16, Herman? Huh? Kanao saying older gamers for the win. Heck yeah. Alright. Susan says, hi all. I'm 70 going on 71. There you go. There you go. You're never too old to be a gamer. I was just telling my husband the other day that my grandparents were gamers. They just didn't have video games back then. I had grandparents who constantly did puzzles, played bridge, played Scrabble, played board games. You know, that was like their thing. All my grandparents, when I was growing up, when I was a little kid, they were always playing games. And, you know, if they had grown up in our era, they'd be playing video games just like we do now, you know? So, you know, I think there's always been gamers. It's just there haven't always been video gamers because there haven't always been video games, you know? But yeah, you're never too old to play games. Never too old. Oh, heck yeah. I'm looking forward to that. As Popple Hughes says, I can see retirement homes in the future being full of gamers teaming up and ruling. I am actually looking forward to that. I am hoping that I retire someday to a place full of gamers. That would be awesome. Unfortunately, a lot of people my age don't play games. I think it would be like, you know, the next generation, the millennials or whatever, that probably would have more gamers than I'm Gen X, I guess. But you know, of all the people I know, I mean, I know you guys online, and I'm happy you're here because you guys are the only gamers I know that are my age. In real life, IRL, I don't know many at all. I mean, my sisters game, and their husbands, and, you know, my husband games. But, like, outside of that, I really don't know anyone who plays video games. And I certainly don't know anyone who plays video games to the level of, like, you know, really being into video games like my husband and I are. That's our age, you know. I mean, younger people are. I've met people in their 20s and 30s that, you know, are into video games. But, you know, people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, not so much, you know. Except for a few people. I mean, I do know a few people who work in the video game industry who are my age or older, who've been working in video game industries and the gaming industry for decades. But it seems pretty rare, I think, in the older generations. But yeah, I would love to retire to a gaming community, like how some people, like, you know, would retire to a golf, you know, country club or a golfing retirement place where they go and golf, or they go to they go retire to Florida and live in a little beach retirement place where they can go to the beach all the time or whatever. I want to retire to a gaming a retirement facility for gamers. That's what I want. Yeah. Kanao is saying the metal flowers are just Demeter having a poetry slam. Yeah. Yeah. And I just found out about that too. I mean, I knew that all the flowers had poetry in them, and I knew the poetry came from the real world, but I didn't know that it was Demeter, or the person who programmed Demeter, I don't remember their name, was really into poetry. We were reading about that just yesterday, I think, or the previous episode. Alright, let's go talk to these folks while the sun's up. I want to be able to see Erend's face when I talk to him, because he's a cutie. Oh, the Nora! Hello, Varl!
Greetings, Aloy. Don't. You don't need to bow. The Anointed doesn't like it.
She doesn't much like being called Anointed, either. It means a lot to have you here, Varl.
I gave my word.
So, Meridian, what do you think?
I've seen many new things since I first met you. I should thank you.
Varl, what's wrong?
You really want to know?
Yeah.
All right. I'm in a foreign land, a tainted land, defending a faithless city that looks like nothing I've seen. From something I can't imagine. And you, after all that's happened, all you've done, I feel like I should drop to my knees and worship you, but I know you don't want that.
Boy, things are pretty tough for you, huh? Thanks for telling the other Nora not to bow. It's the last thing I need.
Don't be too hard on them. They only joined this fight because the Anointed bid it so.
Is that why you came?
No. I would have come just to see you one more time.
Aww.
And we must fight a metal devil, because the goddess says. Or because you say.
I think the goddess and I are in agreement. We're both glad you're here.
So am I.
I don't know. Dropping to his knees and worshiping her is what some people pay for. I like Varl too. Varl's cool.
It rises taller than the highest tree.
Oh,
These
this is
cards in
Mama?
their frilled armor look like turkeys.
Sona!
War Chief Sona.
She's cool.
War Chief, you seem uncomfortable.
The Nora do not belong here. I do not belong here. I will fight the metal devil that threatens us all, but my place is in the sacred land. The wrongness here jags at me like an arrowhead.
I'm sorry to put you through this.
Do not be sorry. This will be ended. My spear, my word.
I'm glad she's here. She's gonna help me kick some ass. Alright, Sona. There's the Spire. Am I missing anybody else? I know there's one more marker for me to go to. That's gotta be Erend. Saving the best for last.
So who are these guys?
They call themselves the Eclipse.
What does that even mean?
It's when the moon gets in front of the sun, idiot.
Is that supposed to sound scary or something?
I don't know. They used to be Karja. Karja are always yammering about sun and shade.
Well, if they used to be Karja, how tough can they be?
Yeah, they're best guys dressed like birds. We'll rip their little feathers off.
Let's not get cocky, boys.
Oh, my dudes. My Oseram dudes. Erend, where's your... Oh, there it is.
Aloy. So here we are again, gearing up for a fight. Only this time it sounds like the bad guys have a lot more firepower. What are we up against, really?
I'm not sure. But there's gonna be a lot of them, and they'll have machines. And if they get past us, it's not just Meridian that will fall. The rest of the world will go with it.
Well, that's... big.
It sounds like our kind of fight. Right, guys? Where do they put the vanguard?
At the front of the line!
Yeah.
And why?
Steel before iron!
And what are we gonna do?
Hit them like a hammer till they can't hit back!
Damn right! You hear that? Nobody's getting past the vanguard. We're here for Meridian.
And we're here for you.
Aww.
Thank you, Erend. Ursa would be proud.
Well, only if we win.
You're gonna need a lot more than 3 dudes, Erend. I'm just saying. You're gonna need an army of dudes. Oh, that's a sweet, sweet hammer. God, I love that hammer.
Fight soon. My armor's getting itchy.
It sounds like a personal problem, dude. Alright, alright, alright. It said there was another journal to read, so let's read it. Alright, this is January 2066. Such a close thing. It's been, what, 43 hours since Harris warned me? Said collapse of the eastern line was imminent. Swarms launching some kind of pincher maneuver versus the Wichita salient. Oh, I think the Wichita salient was mentioned at the very beginning of the game when Aloy fell into the ruins where she found her focus. There was a mention of that. 5 or 6 days more and I think Gaia could have launched without our help. I really do. We had to scramble. Zero Dawn became a madhouse. Absolute bedlam. Every team rushing to stabilize code and lock it down as Gammas got evacuated, then Betas. Once Gaia was on her way, I gathered the Alphas together to give them the bad news. It felt like I was going to throw up, but they already knew, of course. They knew the work wasn't really finished. Close, but not quite there. Still tests to run, kinks to smooth, work to do. So they accepted it. No Elysium for us. We'll spend the rest of our lives here testing and polishing each subordinate function to perfection. Why didn't they just build Gaia Prime and Elysium together? I guess they couldn't do that because of the plot point of the story. That Gaia blew herself up, so that would have blown up Elysium. But then that makes me wonder, like, then where's Elysium? Did Aloy ever find Elysium? I don't remember her ever finding a facility where there had been 2,000 people living there. I mean, Elysium's not the place where she first fell into, right? Because at the very beginning of the game, when she fell into the ruins where she found her focus, there were only a few people living in there and they committed suicide. So that couldn't have been Elysium. And then there's the cradle inside Allmother Mountain where they were making new humans after Earth was re-terraformed, but I don't think we've ever actually found Elysium. So that makes me wonder, like, is that gonna pop up in the next, like in the sequel, if they make a sequel to this game, or did I just miss something somewhere? It's weird. Guess that's what you get when you recruit a bunch of obsessive perfectionists. Managed not to cry until I got back to my office. So here we are, setting up Gaia Prime, and yeah, such a close thing. Makes me feel nauseated all over again when I contemplate how the fate of life could hinge on coincidence. If I'd never proposed the Lightkeeper protocol, there never would have been living spaces constructed there. If I'd abandoned the protocol sooner, the necessary life support systems would never have been installed. If. At least we won't have to endure the creepiness of raising and training clones of ourselves. The genetic material was never processed out of the cradle tests, so it's not even possible, for which I'm glad. I really, really wouldn't want to spend time around a young Travis Tate raised by Travis Tate. Good point. No, it'll be up to us to perfect Gaia, one generation only. Okay, so this is explaining why there was genetic material for Gaia to be able to make a clone of Aloy. But if they could make a clone of Aloy, they could have also made a clone of the other alphas? Maybe that's what was inside the cradle, because there were some other little incubator machines inside the cradle. Maybe they were the other alpha genetic material or something, the other alpha clones. Ah, but you know what? You know what? Ted Faro. Remember Selene said that there were ways to prolong life. And Ted Faro had his weird, creepy underground or whatever pyramid that he built. I wonder if Ted Faro is going to end up making clones of himself so that we're going to end up running into Ted Faro. I don't think in this game. Because I'm pretty sure we're just going to fight a big battle and then that's the end of it. But it would be... We still don't know who sent the signal that caused Gaia to break up, that caused Hades and Demeter and all of the AIs to go rogue. There was some kind of signal sent. So maybe it was a clone of Ted Faro. Maybe he's been cloning himself over and over and over again and training up himself, teaching himself everything that he knew so that, at some point in the future, in a future game, we'll actually run into Ted Faro, but it'll be like Ted Faro, I don't know how many generations would go, I-25.0 or whatever. Oh, that would be weird. Cool, though. Cool story idea. Alright, let's see. Update. That was General Harris. The salient has collapsed. The USRC expects to be overrun in 2 days, which gives us 72 hours at best to lock down and seal up. Buried alive for life's sake. I'll go tell the others. Oh, dang. Do we have any other data points to read? I should probably check. Alright, so how many of the ones were corrupted? Alright, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's one left. Voice recording, file damage. I don't think we've seen this one yet. This is February 2065. Yeah, I think that's the last one we have that we haven't been able to listen to yet. Or read or whatever. It says it's a voice recording. Okay, that's the last one. Alright.
Check your gear twice. Then once more for luck.
Oh, that dude. I'm so smitten with Erend, I tell you. You know, and I kind of knew I would be, too. Some of you might remember from the very beginning of the game when I first met him, I was like, okay, is he going to be cool or is he going to turn out to be a jerk? I really hope he turns out to be cool. I remember saying something like that. I was like really worried that he was going to end up being a villain or something, and I didn't want that to be true because I really liked him. Oh. Canal says that face when you have more quests with companions. It's one of the things they improved. Oh, do you have companions in the Frozen Wilds DLC? Yeah, no kidding. George is saying this generation of consoles are far more complicated than the old systems people are used to. Just blow on a cartridge and slip it in and play. Now you need a flight instructor in the family. Right. I know. It is so complicated. And, you know, I've gotten to the point, too, sometimes with games. Like when I played Spider-Man for Try It Tuesday, and I popped into the menu, and the menu was just like spreadsheets and charts and graphs and perks. And, you know, when I see that much stuff behind a game, you know, when there's all of these perk trees and stems and choices and spreadsheets and just crafting menus and I don't even know what all, like, I just check out. I'm like, nope, not playing this game. I mean, that's a big reason I'm not playing Witcher, because, like, it's very complicated and it takes hours and hours and hours to play. And yeah, I know I've spent tons of time on Skyrim, but I feel like Skyrim is not that complicated. And it's possible to play Skyrim effectively and have a good time without even understanding half of how the perks and things work. I mean, you could play through all of Skyrim and never do alchemy or magic or, you know, whatever. I mean, you could play through all of Skyrim and never have touched heavy armor or light armor or whatever. You know, there's so much you can just ignore and still enjoy the game. But there are so many games where it's like you can't just ignore. You know, you can't just get in there and play it. It's like you have to, you know, have an engineering degree or, you know, freaking read 8 manuals or something to figure out what you're doing. And I just don't have time for that anymore. I'm like, nah. I mean, even Horizon Zero Dawn, I think, is pretty good. They're not too complicated, you know. They do have a crafting system, but it's pretty straightforward, and it's just for the basic things that you use in the game. It's not crazy complicated, I don't think. I mean, I still had a hard time kind of wrapping my brain around the weaves and stuff for the weapons, or the weaves for the clothing and the mods for the weapons. But yeah, I eventually kind of figured it out. I hope. With your help, the viewers' help. You guys have been helping me with some of that. You know, traps and potions are pretty straightforward. There's not a lot to it. You know, they're not too terribly complicated. The skills are not terribly complicated. That's it. That's all. That's your whole skill thing right there. You know, that's not complicated at all. It's very straightforward. You know, I think they did a good job on keeping that aspect of the game easy to use, but man, some games get so complex. I don't have time for that nonsense. I don't have time for it. Oh, Stephen Naylor is saying, I think I saw somewhere that Guerrilla looked at this game being a co-op. Yeah, I heard that too. They were going to have it be like a 2-player thing. Yeah. I imagine they ditched that. One, because it really became the story of Aloy, and I guess they just wanted to focus on that. But 2, because when you've got a game that 2 people play, it's, I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people say they wish they had co-op games that they could play with their family or friends, but in reality, it's always so difficult to get another person that's like free and available and in the same mindset and wants to play the game with you at the same time that you're ready to play the game. You know, at least for me, in my family it is. Because, like, we were playing through Zombie Vikings, and Zombie Vikings can have up to 4 people in co-op, you know, couch co-op play. And it's really not a game you can play alone, and I tried, and it really just didn't work well, because there's a few spots where, you need to have more than one person with you. And so I was, like, begging my family. You know, I got one daughter to play with me for a while, another daughter to play with me for a while. I got my husband to finish the game with me, you know, but it was kind of, you know, I still have never finished playing, oh, what the heck was that one? There was a steampunk-themed little side-scroller game that I played for Try It Tuesday that was adorable. I really liked it, but it's a co-op. It's a 2-player game, and I want to finish it, but I can't because nobody will play it with me. I don't have anyone, you know, that I can go through it with. I think it's possible to play alone, but not as fun. Oh, Foul Play. That's what it was called. Foul Play. I loved that game. I thought it was so cute, and I want to finish it, but I can't because nobody will play it with me. So, you know, that's something to consider. Like, if they're going to make a co-op game, you know, how many people are actually going to be able to, like, play through the whole game, you know, with someone else? But, and I guess they just, you know, I think they just made a narrative decision that this was Aloy's story, and so it was going to be all about Aloy. That's my guess. Okay, Canal is saying that stealth never goes over 13%. I mean, stealth weaves never go higher than that? Well, that's a bummer. Why is that? I mean, if you're playing a stealth character, as I have been, you're just forced to use that fishnet 70s fringe outfit through the whole game, because it had a stealth... It had a natural stealth on it, and then I added stealth weaves to it, and it had a total stealth of, I think, 38 out of a possible, I don't know how much, but it was pretty, you know, that was higher than any of the stealth weaves. And so, you know, but I didn't like the way it looked. I thought it looked ridiculous. It was silly. It was covered with 70s fringe. It looked like some macrame wall hanging that my grandmother had made in the 70s, you know, and I just thought it looked ridiculous. So I wanted to wear one of the other outfits that had that much stealth I could put on it, so that I could still play a stealth character but not look like, you know, one of my granny's macrame wall hangings. And it wasn't possible. And that's one thing about this game that I'm really kind of frustrated about. It's silly, I know, but it's just, you know, I don't know why they made that decision in the game to not provide higher stealth weaves when everything else, I mean, you can get a much higher melee weave or a much higher, you know, fire protection weave or whatever. I don't know why they decided to leave stealth so low. That's weird. Oh, Canal says you can choose to not wear the hats. Is that a thing? I don't think it is. I mean, you just equip an outfit. I don't think you can take the hat off, can you? I mean, it's either equip or not equip. I don't think there's a way. Is there a way to take off the hat? If there is, I don't see it. Hey, Martin. Martin or Meriton, I'm not sure how you pronounce your name. Welcome to the chat room. Says, hi, I've been listening to your complaints. I can vouch for Frozen Wilds. It is really improved the things you don't like. Even the collectibles actually pay off. Oh, nice. Well, then I might consider playing it then, because I was not considering playing it before. Yeah, see, there's Aloy and the macrame wall hanging there. Yeah, because I was kind of like, you know, I don't think I want to play more of this. I've had enough, thank you. I want to move on. But if they've improved it, I might just have to play it. I'd be curious to see. I do like the Bannock too. I think their culture is very interesting. Oh, Steven says, uh-oh, action's happening again. Gotta go before I see or hear too much. Okay. Bye. DMT says, wasn't that where the Nora live? What, Elysium? No, I don't think so. That's a good point. No, I think the Nora live in the Embrace, and Mother's Mountain, Mother's Heart, whatever. Well, Mother's Watch here is where there's a cradle. The cradle facility is where, yeah, here it is. All Mother Mountain, Eleuthia. That's what it is. It's not Elysium, it's Eleuthia. Eleuthia is the cradle that humanity was reborn from in this region. But no, Elysium is supposed to be a place where 2,000 people went to live out the course of their natural lives underground, safe from the machines. And when we were out here, where was it? Out here at Gaia Prime, there was one of the data points said something about Elysium being only a few miles away. And yet it might as well be, you know, 1,000,000 miles, because they were never going to be able to leave Gaia Prime to visit people in Elysium, because, you know, the monsters were eating everyone, the machines were eating everyone and destroying the biosphere. It was unlivable. You couldn't breathe outside without a special suit on or whatever. But I don't think we ever actually found Elysium. Unless this is... I mean, they call it the Grave Horde. Maybe that was Elysium. This seems like a military facility where they were fighting, so you can see one of the big, nasty machines there. I thought this was like a military installation. Not Elysium. That's true. Canal is saying there are a lot of hooks for the sequels. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I can see hints. I can see hints that make me wonder, like, ooh, is this going to come up next time? Is this going to be in the next game? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, George is waving off to dinner. Okay, George, thanks for stopping by. DMT says you're missing out. Witcher 3 is awesome. Yeah, I've heard that. I know. I know. There's a lot of people who love it. It's just so long, though. I just don't know if I can do that right now. Maybe someday, but... even this game has gone on longer than I expected it to. Of course, partly that's my own fault, because I tend to explore very slowly and try to, like, you know, see everything and experience everything. Oh, okay. Canal says the stealth outfit in the Frozen Wilds is so much better looking. It's actually Sona's outfit. Oh, nice. Nice. Oh, Canal says it's in the main menu options. Taking off the hat. Yeah, the Grave Horde was a U.S. robot. Okay, I thought that it was just a military place. Right. Oh, right. Canal saying maybe Elysium was in the claim, but since they didn't include that in the game, we didn't get to see it. Yeah. Could be. Did Erend just say that this is going to make a good story and it would help with the ladies? Did I just hear him say that? Erend? For God's sake, man. I swear I think I just heard him say that.
I hope we fight soon. My armor's getting itchy.
Of course, Aaron's like, hey, we gotta win this battle so I can brag about it to the women. That's so Erend, though, I swear. Or at least the way I perceive Erend. I was saying earlier in this stream that I've been working on a fan fiction about Erend. I know, fan fiction. Roar. It's got such a negative connotation. But it's nothing smutty or weird or anything. It's not like I'm not shipping Erend with the Sun King or, you know, doing anything smutty. It's a very sweet story, and I'm going to publish it. I'm hoping to publish it tomorrow. When I finish this game, then I will go and post this story I've written about Erend on my website and on AO3. I publish all of my fan fictions, or you know, I've got Fallout fictions, Skyrim fictions. A lot of my fictions are like supplementary to my playthroughs. Especially my Fallout stuff. A lot of my Fallout stuff, I have a story about Rose, my second soul survivor. I have lots of stories about Fiona, and a lot of it is just sort of a supplementary kind of what they call headcanon, that talks about things that aren't shown in the game, but that, you know, I assume happened as I was playing through as these characters, and so I write it down, you know. And in this particular circumstance, I was not motivated to write anything about Aloy, but I do like Erend, so I wrote this little story about him, and I'm hoping, like I said, when I finish tomorrow, finish up the big battle, then I'll post that, and it'll be available to read if anyone's interested in that. And it includes an Oseram drinking song. I wrote an Oseram drinking song. I know the tune in my head. It doesn't have music in the story. It's just the verses, but I know the tune in my head. It's pretty fun. Kinal says I'd read that. Thank you. Yep, should be posted. I have a Patreon page at patreon.com/jewelsmith. And from there, there's my gaming schedule, so you know what I'm planning to do each day, and if there's any updates or changes. And also, there's links to like my Twitter account, my Tumblr account, my personal website, my Etsy shop, because I'm a jewelry designer and I do other things when I'm not playing video games. And DeviantArt, I have a DeviantArt page and stuff, and that's all linked over there. You don't have to be a user of Patreon. It should all be set to public. So even if you're not logged into Patreon or whatever, you should still be able to see it. I think there's also links on my YouTube channel. If you go to the About page, should be the same links. I don't keep the schedule over there, but I keep links over there. And I am on Twitter. You should be able to find me on Twitter under Jewelsmith.
Gotta stay sharp.
But I use the same name on AO3. If you're familiar with Archive of Our Own, I'm also Jewelsmith over there. And so you can see any of my Skyrim, Fallout, or in a few days, Horizon Zero Dawn stuff over there. But my website, my personal website, has other things too. It doesn't just have fiction. It's got articles. Sometimes I write down my thoughts about different video games, or talk about different things. I actually started my website when I started getting published. I had a couple of books published. So it started out being my author website. I guess it still is my author website, but now it kind of is an umbrella website that sort of encompasses like my jewelry design and my books and my YouTube channel and, you know, all of that. But there's other stuff to read for free over there too, articles and fiction. Original fiction even. I've got some stuff over there that's not part of a video game.
What do they want with that Spire thing anyway?
Martin is saying fanfic is a great way to have more of a particular world. It sure is, isn't it? It sure is. It gets a bad rap, but, you know, really, I mean, even authors do fanfiction of their own work, or, you know, there's fanfiction of all kinds of, I mean, there's lots and lots of Star Wars books and Star Trek books, and, you know, basically they're just official fanfiction. They're not written by the original creators. You know, Gene Roddenberry and George Lucas didn't write them or whatever. They're just, you know, officially sanctioned part of the universe or whatever. But, you know, fanfiction can be like that. You know, it can be just more material about a universe that people love living in, and I think that's fantastic. I try to keep my stuff very canon and lore friendly, though. I don't deviate much from what's already in the video games if I can help it. That's just me. Alright. Well, now it says all we have left to do is rest before the final battle. So I guess that's what we're gonna do. This stream was mostly me just running my mouth and chatting with you. But I appreciate y'all being here. I hope you're having a good time. And I hope you'll join me tomorrow. I'm sorry I didn't do the battle today. I just really... I'm so tired. I'm so tired. And I didn't want to try to do the big last, final, emotional, difficult battle while being tired and run down. So,
What's wrong with that Spire thing, anyway?
He was talking about the Spire. I'm sorry. I just was like, I don't know. What's he saying over there? See, moon's still full. It's always full here. So, you know, we're just hanging out. We've been talking to everybody in the game. We've been talking to each other. And I've been relaxing, having a good time. I'm going to try to get some sleep tonight. Hopefully my upstairs neighbors will allow that to happen. And I'll be able to do this battle tomorrow. Yeah, Canal saying you'll need to be well rested. I thought so. I thought so. Thank you. Alright, you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Everyone and all. We will do this thing tomorrow. I think I am all suited up. I've got all the resources that I'm going to need. And we've talked to everyone. All we have to do now is take a nap. And then wake up and kick Hades' ass. Oh, thank you, Celtic Granny. You too. Have a great evening. Hope to see y'all tomorrow. Bye.